Hi! This video is completely unexpected, unplanned, unprepared. I am just gonna sit here and kind of pour my heart out to you. First things first, if all goes well with uploading, this will be posted on the 23rd of April 2020, which is my 5-year booktube anniversary. Not many of you will know that, but I actually started booktube on the 23rd of April 2015. I've decided that I'm going to have a bit of a bookish turn on this channel and join the community that is known as booktube. I will actually unprivate the video where I talk about my bookish turn. My channel was previously called Wonder of Nothing, which was like meant to be a beauty channel with a girl that I was friends with at the time, and then it became my own channel, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make it booktube. And I just think it's kind of apt to post this on that day because I've very much fallen out of love with the book community, more so book Twitter, but that kind of pulls itself back into booktube. This videos came about because I am filming a reading vlog. And something happened in the book, well, pretty minor thing, but I was talking about it and it got me thinking and I was voicing some thoughts, and as I was filming the clip I found myself defending my opinion and I was getting really worked up. I actually deleted the clip and restarted so I could try and speak more eloquently, which I will get to in a minute. But first I want to just kind of recap what 2020 has been for me so far. Obviously a lot of us are feeling kind of down and unmotivated because of elephant in the room, fucking COVID. My kind of shitty mental health started back in January. My granddad wasn't well. He'd went to the doctor, had blood tests. He went to the pub on the Wednesday. My gran got a phone call from the out of hours doctors and they were like, oh, can John come to the hospital on Friday just for some tests and blah blah blah. He went to the hospital. He was fine that Wednesday. The Friday for going to the hospital he could barely move, and that quick appointment turned into him being hospitalised and then moved into a hospice after being diagnosed with leukemia. He died 17 days after we found out he was ill. You know, we didn't even have his official diagnosis for like 2 weeks. It was so crazy, it was so quick, and it was just so, I mean, I've still not processed, I've still not really grieved. Like, you know, he passed away when we were there. We let the nurses like sort out his wires and we went back in and spent some time with him. And leaving him there that day, I was really upset, and I was upset on the way home. But that was kind of it. This is his room. Like, I'm currently staying with my gran, which is partly why I haven't filmed. But, you know, it screws with your head a little. So, you know, that was kind of going on, and then the whole COVID thing turned into a shitstorm, and it's just made filming difficult. And then you kind of add on top of that the way the book community has turned so fucking toxic over the last 5 years. It is mostly book Twitter that gets into the drama. I think part of it is possibly that obviously there's a younger generation getting involved, and you know, in different personalities people talk different ways to different people, and you know, if I'm talking with friends, like, I know how I can act with them, and you know, we'll have banter, and maybe you're trying to have banter with somebody and then someone outside your circle sees it, and you know. But I was filming a vlog clip and it really upset me in that moment to see how much I felt I had to defend myself. I was talking about something to do with being queer. Like, basically this book, the character was concerned that something was sexist, so instead of just having a female figure, she also included a male as well as a queer female, and non-binary. And I was discussing how I didn't know if that was necessary. I was doing the sort of boomer thing, like, where do you stop? Like, do you then add in people of colour, queer people of colour? And you know, you could go on forever. And as I was discussing it, I was like, oh, but you know, I'm queer, so like, don't think I hate queer people. And I was like, I don't need to defend that. You know, I'm not saying that it's wrong to include people. I was just questioning if that was necessary in that situation. And then I just started thinking about the community as a whole and the way that people jump to take things out of context, and people jump to have their drama. People want a fight, and even this video I feel kind of uncomfortable making, because there are certain things in the community that people get very uptight about, and I don't feel qualified to like talk about it. I'm saying uptight, I don't mean that like they're not allowed. I just, you know, there's a lot of things to do with, you know, race diversity that I, as a white person, have no need to get involved in, so I'm not going to. But overall, I feel like people speak up about things and they get shot down. And I was recently involved in a drama on Twitter that it really got to me, because it was a situation where this person, I'm not going to name them, either you know who they are or you don't, and at the end of the day, like, I don't want people like looking for issues with them. Like, you know, to be fair, they look for them themselves, and that's what happened in this situation. I was talking to a friend, and this person were looking at the tweets and assumed that the tweets were about them. There was one tweet that referenced them. The tweets, however, they chose to subtweet and bitch at me about were not about them. So, you know, they came in my DMs and they were going off on how they didn't say this and they didn't say that, and I was like, well, I never said that you said that. They then blocked me before I had the ability to even reply and give them an explanation. But something that I think is worth pointing out, we're very quick online to talk shit to people. We're very quick online to see something someone has said and decide what they mean. And something that I found to be really uncomfortable for me is if you say something and people take it the wrong way. If somebody's upset, I think it is imperative that we apologise and we say, I'm really, really sorry. But I have had people come at me, and when I have said, look, I did not mean it that way, I'm really sorry, they turn around and tell me that it doesn't matter. Now, I really hate pulling this card, because I feel like I'm just being like, ha, like, get out of jail free. But I am autistic, and I don't think people really understand what that is sometimes. For me, my autism, very much I consider a disability. I know a lot of people don't like that. I don't think it, you know, it's a bad thing as such, but it is very much a social issue for me. And I struggle to get words out. I struggle to get my point across and explain things. And something I do a lot is I will talk about something and I will make a comment, and then I will have a big explanation that explains this comment. But what people will do is they will take this comment and they will make an assumption. They will take their own meaning from it. They will refuse to listen to the rest, and they will attack on this. I then try and explain to them what I'd already said here, but they're just focused on this. And it really upsets me. Like, it upsets me to think that something I've said has upset people. But I don't think it's fair that when I say to these people, like, listen, you only took this part, you removed the context, I know it was long-winded, but, you know, you're assuming that I have said this about you or about people like you when I haven't. I'm really sorry you're hurt, but can you understand? And they're just like, no. And they disregard it. And they do it to me, they do it to other people, even people who are neurotypical. Some, you know, not just autistic people have issues explaining themselves. And I just think we are at a point where it's hard. I understand there are people in this world who have been through so much shit and have been told so much shit and given so much shit, and they hear someone else say something and they're like, you know what, I'm done. I understand that, but it is incredibly unfair to attack people for a misunderstanding. Hi, editing Emma, trying to jump in here quickly but continuing to ramble every time she makes this clip. I don't mean here that you shouldn't attack people at all. I mean, you shouldn't. Let's get that clear. But like, I'm not saying, I understand when people get off on one if they misunderstand something, they see a tweet and they think, oh my god, you're being a bitch. What I mean is, if somebody has explained to you the misunderstanding, you are being a complete dick if you continue to subtweet about it. I would go into an example where it happened with me, but I just vent. But basically, you do that, and it causes a whole thread of 100 people subtweeting about a situation that's not even there. And then it just causes the original person, like, I know for me, when I've upset people for something that's been taken the wrong way, it really upsets me. And I'm upset enough that I've upset one person without 50 people getting upset on their behalf as well. And that was something I want to point out from earlier, when I was like, oh, I don't want to pull the autism card for get out jail free. If I am saying something ignorant or disrespectful or whatever, please do call me out on it. Just bear in mind that we function differently, and I'm possibly not meaning what I'm saying. I don't think you should not correct people for being wrong because they've got a neurological disorder, but yeah, so don't attack people. Definitely don't fucking attack people after an apology and an explanation, because it's gonna turn worse for you. Just saying. I think the best way to deal with these things is either ignore it, or if you feel you have to say something, just be nice. I get defensive quite quickly, and if somebody attacks me, I just go straight in. Like, if you come at me viciously, I will not be nice to you, so, and I know that's bad, and I've got to pull myself back and say, Emma, behave. Like, if you fight fire with fire, it's gonna get bigger. And I think the whole community just needs to fucking learn to be nice. Like, I cannot believe I'm sitting here telling people to just be fucking nice. If you see something that you don't think is right, you think is ignorant, you think is wrong, if you're seeing one tweet, look at the others, look and see if there's context in the thread. If it's a reply, check that person's other tweets and other replies if you so have to. Especially in replies, like when I talk to my friends, I have so much banter with them, and I might say something that you're like, God, that's fucking horrible, but my friend will know it's like sarcasm. So that's why you don't fucking look at people's replies and make comments on it if it doesn't involve you. But, people are just so quick to bitch and attack people and then refuse an apology. And, there are situations where that makes sense. If I sat here and said, you know what, I fucking hate queer people and you all need to die, and then was like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Like, of course you're going to be like, no. Obviously, I'm queer, so I use that as an example because, But yeah, I shouldn't be making a video where I mention something to do with queerness and feel I have to defend myself. And I shouldn't have to sit and say, I'm autistic, don't attack on my words without kind of getting the full picture. But I feel like I have to. I feel like I'm going to have to sit and say, I'm autistic, please read everything in context. And it's really put me off filming. I'm panicking now because my battery's dying. But it does, it just makes me think, my autism means that I might muck up words, or I might say something that sounds the wrong way to what I mean, and that shouldn't hold me back from filming or making a vlog because of what people might think, because people don't want to listen. So at the end of the day, if you don't want to take the time to understand me and what I mean, that's fine, but please don't give me shit. It's obvious when somebody is being malicious. I would like to think I don't come across that way. And if I do, I would like to think my friends would have pulled me aside by now. Just be nice. There are so many newbies on this platform who are scared to post things, who are scared to talk to people and become friends because they don't know if they're going to get attacked for it. And it's wrong, and I'm tired. I could keep going on, but luckily my battery's about to die, so you don't have to hear me rehash the same thing 50 times. But yeah, I'm autistic. I say shit I don't mean sometimes. So does everyone.